Hey everyone, the Sewing Wench here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how a new artist would come up with pricing and actually how I do pricing myself. This came up in a conversation with Captain Shameless, who is at the Dragon's Hoard and has some of samples of my work there in his shop. So if you're in the Covington, Kentucky area, greater Cincinnati, go check him out. Okay, so first of all, I show you my spreadsheet, and you're probably not going to be able to see this very well, but you can see it's kind of in depth here. So if we take a closer look, I separate this into what the product actually is. So you see this is, if it's a full bust corset or an underbust or what have you, whatever the product is. The second, I have the fabric type and how much the fabric costs per yard, or no, how much fabric I need, and then the cost per yard, and then the fabric total. So, and it goes on. I have the boning cost, lacing, all the little things. There's grommets down the line here, the lining, and my core. So all of that is your material costs. Alright, so that's the first thing that you have to consider. The second thing I have in here, the second little category here, are the time that it takes me to complete a project. In this case, we are looking at the corsets. So how long it actually takes me to complete a corset. And then I multiply that by what I charge for my labor. And that's how I get my labor dollars. Okay, so the second thing in your equation is your labor. Now, I'm somewhat in the middle range with labor. Because this is what I do as my main source of income. So I need to charge a little bit more than what somebody who is just doing this for fun would charge. I charge anywhere between $11.50 and $15 an hour, depending on what the project is. The corsets tend to be at the higher end of that. Now, there are seamstresses out there that charge $25 and up. So I could be charging more, but I believe that my pricing is reasonable and it's something that I can live off of. So that's how I decide how much I charge per hour. Alright, so your labor costs and your material, that gives you your base price. Now, this is not what I sell my corsets or my items for. It is what you see here is the total. So that gets my first number. The second number is what I actually should sell for. And the sell for price is my total multiplied by 1.5 is how I figure. So you have your base price times 1.5 gives you your sale price. Okay, and then if you take your base minus your sale price equals your profit. Now, I know there are other costumers out there, other artists who don't figure in profit, but I believe that's a mistake, and here's why. If you're doing just your base price, which is just your material costs and your labor, your material costs need to go back to buy the same materials that went into making that item. And your labor is the money that you pay yourself. Do not forget to pay yourself. You wouldn't work for free for anybody else. Don't work for free for yourself. Okay? The profit that you make, this is money that goes back into the business. This is money that I use to go to shows. If I'm doing live events, if I want to do advertising, the money comes from the profit. If I need new equipment, that all comes from profit. If you take it out of your material costs, then you're not going to have the money to go back into building the same item unless you take it out of your labor, which is what's supposed to be what you pay yourself. So I know I've come under criticism with talking with other people about this before, but I highly stress this is the way that you should be setting your prices. Do not shortchange yourself. You, like I said, you would not work for anybody else for free. Nobody would expect you to work for anybody else for free. So you should not work for yourself for free. You are your employee, and treat yourself good. And again, material costs need to go back to buy that material. So in order to grow your business, you need to be making a profit. So that's how I figure my prices that I post up. And again, I just went into Excel and did this on a massive spreadsheet. It's very simple, very easy to set up. So I encourage you to set that up. Have your price list, know what your prices are, make it so that you can have a reference, put it as a Google document so you can pull it up if you don't have it on hand all the time. I have quite a few different price ranges, so I do have my own little cheat sheets myself, and I've been doing this for a little while. So, to figure out how much you should sell an item for, add your materials, add your labor. This is your base price. Multiply that or add in whatever profit you would like. I start out with 1.5 times my base just as a guideline. It just gives me a place to start. And then if it's something that I feel is priced a little bit low at this price, then I can add in a little bit more. If it's something that I feel is priced a little bit too high at this price, then I subtract a little. But this will give you your start. Don't forget to have your profit to build your business, and don't forget to pay yourself. All right, so that's my advice. So advice from the Sewing Wench on how to price your items. I hope this gives you an idea of how to get started. I know it's something that I have struggled with for years, and this is a system that works best for me. So I hope to help other artists who are just starting out to get a better idea of how they should start their pricing. All right, so have a good week, guys.